Hello everyone. Namaskar. I, Pinky Pathak, welcome you all to today's conversation. I have always found conversations to be very interesting. We get to hear a different perspective from the other side. We get to hear and listen to what they have to say about. And in the end, we end up having a totally different perspective on that particular topic. We get to get more wiser with more knowledge about that particular arena we are studying about. And of course, when that someone is like me who loves to talk, they would surely find conversations to be interesting. So today we are going to have one such conversation, a special someone who is going to take us through his life journey till date. He's going to talk about the crest and troughs of his life and what made him the person he is today. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, when life seemed to be very tough to him, he stood firm. And he came out to be more stronger, more resilient, more passionate, and today he stands as an inspiration to many of us. Dr. Bhaskar Bora, a qualified doctor from Guwahati Medical College and Hospital, having worked in Delhi, went down to the UK in 2004. He is an entrepreneur, he is a poet, he is a painter, he is an author. Today we are going to talk about his book, The Second Chance in Life, which is going to get published by Book Hive Publications. Dr. Bhaskar, swagatam to the conversation.
Thank you.
Dr. Bhaskar, at the very first go, I'd like to know from your end, what was that thought which made you write this book? When did you realize that your story needs to be heard?
Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity and for this time for me to connect to my readers and all the viewers. So in terms of when I first thought about writing, so this was when life turned upside down with this spinal cord injury and then the diagnosis of cancer and all that. And what was meant to be just one night stay in the hospital turned out to be almost 7 months in and out. So I had a lot of time when I was just by myself in the hospital bed. So from someone who used to work 15, 16 hours a day, every day for the last 20 years. So this was quite a change. So that was the time when I was kind of reflecting a lot on what had gone wrong or what should have been, and all sorts of feelings, the feelings of frustration, depression, and why me, that sort of thing. But also, little by little, the feelings turned to be more positive. And I thought, why should I not just try and write some of my reflections down? And I started posting small bits and pieces on social media. And before I realized, there was an overwhelming response to all these posts. I mean, when I post something, it used to get 800-900 likes and more than 200-300 comments, sort of thing, which is not something I expected. And then I started getting lots of personal messages from people that I didn't know, who used to say that yes, my posts have really inspired them, or it has changed the perspective of life, and they realize how small their pains are. So gradually the following grew, and then there was one incident particularly which kind of inspired me. I had come back from Kerala for my Ayurvedic treatment after 2 months, and I landed in Heathrow, and I just turned on my mobile. And the first thing I saw was a message on Facebook Messenger where this girl who is a white English doctor, so she just wrote to me saying that yesterday was London Marathon. I took part in the marathon, but for the last 2 miles, I could not run and I wanted to give up. But at that point, I remembered your post, what you had written. And then I realized there you are, you can't even walk, and I have got the privilege of running. So I kept on going, and eventually I finished the race. So I dedicate my medal to you. So that was something really, really touching. I said, there is this girl whom I've never met and I have made a difference to her life. So maybe there is something in my writing. So I should do it more seriously. And I started putting on more posts, and then lots of those readers on social media, they suggested that I should start thinking about writing a book. So initially it seemed quite an impossible task, writing a 45,000, 50,000 word book. But yeah, I got to it, and when I started, thanks to help of one editor who kind of helped me structure it as well. So yeah, it just flew. It just kind of flowed, and in less than 6 months, and I think it was around about 5 months, the book was ready, and it's been published.
Oh, yeah. It seems to be very organic. When, I was listening to you, the way it came out from you, this journey was completely organic. And you said that someone from a foreign land, she was about to give up and then she had a read about your book, and that was the motivational point for her. I mean, this is something, what a kind of a review thing, like that review.
Yeah. So
I'm
this
sure.
was, yeah, reading my post. This was before I started about the book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. That is some kind of review. I mean, of course, someone whom you do not know and getting inspired. And yeah, here I would like to tell you that I would not be able to tell the complete quote in a quoted manner, but it is from Bhagavad Gita when Krishna Bhagwan was, giving one vani. That's what we call. That was a verse. So he said that life is all about practicality. Life is every day is a challenge. So that is what I think is applicable for each of us. And of course, we are really blessed compared to what many people are not. So I think, yeah,
Absolutely.
every day is a chance to celebrate, and that is what makes us different. And of course, you have shown us the way. I mean, being at the verge and then being stronger and coming back with being more stronger is something everyone should look up to. So moving ahead, I wanted to know from your end, what was the favorite part of your book? I'm sure you would have one or maybe many. Or rather, let me take it as if you can give us a sneak peek or trailer kind of a thing so that the readers like me would be wanting, we would be waiting and wanting for more from your end.
Sure. So the favorite part of the book is when I was in the tea garden, working as a medical officer in a tea estate called Kakajan Tea Estate, which is incidentally the biggest tea estate in Asia.
Yeah, correct.
And there I had not only treated the human beings, I had an opportunity to treat a leopard. So the leopard was trying to cross the jungles, and it was next to the Gibbon Forest Reserve, and the leopard was trying to cross the jungles, and then got hurt by the fences, and he was bleeding, and he was almost unconscious. It was only unconscious because he was unconscious, so I had the courage to go near him. And then, yeah, I ended up dressing the leopard and giving him saline and everything, and got him back to standing up, and eventually handed him over to the forest department. So that day I became a hero, and it was really good, and I've tried to put it in the best possible way in the book. So there have been quite a few incidences where I have tried to share, and those are lots of favorite parts, but this one was particularly the one. As regarding the book itself, so it is a journey of my own about how I had come to UK as a first generation immigrant, then from rags
That's
to
interesting.
riches. About I think by fair standards, I became a successful doctor and an entrepreneur. And then when things were getting just seemed everything rosy, and then suddenly this incident happened where I had this spinal cord injury, and then subsequently a diagnosis of cancer, and everything turned upside down. And how I have managed to cope with all that and turn things around, with trying to be positive, and various strategies that I have helped, which I think will help, have not just me but will help lots of other people in terms of self help. So it's my journey, along with a bit of some spiritual teachings, some strategies to cope, and also a bit about entrepreneurship, and about listening to your gut instinct. So ways to change any adversity into an opportunity. So it is, as the title says, It is my second chance in life,
Chance in life. Yes,
and it is
yes.
also, I hope, will be a second chance for people who have given up on life.
Yeah, I think the title of your book was something which initially, when I got to know about it, it attracted me so much. And when I got to know about your journey, I mean, as I know you as a person now, it really moved me so much. And, we keep on complaining every day. We do not have this, do not have that. But no, many people do not have even the, basic things which are required. So we are at a very fairer space, I would say. And of course, I was so, like amazed to know that you have treated a leopard. I'm sure it was like a lifetime kind of an experience
Was,
in your life.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. So now I was also actually wondering, what was that picture behind your brain going on, or what was that picture you had portrayed? Why, while compiling the story, I'm sure, sure of this, because as I said, I know you as a person now, and after hearing your story, so there would have been some moments where there were a lot of flow of emotions. I'm sure about that, and you might have had a lot of flashbacks. There would
Mhm.
be instances which would be your favorite, and then of course you had also your trying times, which still now you might be thinking that if that could have been escaped. So if you can tell us something about that.
Yeah, the writing experience was quite painful. Actually, quite a few of them. Actually, at many instances, I had tears in my eyes as I wrote them, and I hope I have been able to convey those emotions through my words in the book. Lots of people have said that I have brought tears to their eyes. It was about reliving all those moments. The first time when I realized that I could not walk again, and things will never be the
Correct.
same. The time when I first saw my wife was just fell asleep next to my bed, and looking at her face and realizing that things would not be same for her. That was a time. That was a time when I felt very depressed, and I was on the motorway and felt like I should just crash into the next car and just end it all. So writing those sort of things, so those were quite painful. But at the same time, I think writing the book has helped me in structuring my reflections. So beforehand, I had thought about lots of things. I reflected on lots of things. I put some on social media and all that. But this was where I had actually structured everything in a way that not just me, but other people can relate to this and they can
Yeah.
gain something out of it. So, so overall, the picture that I had was of a warrior. So somebody who has gone through lots of experiences, who is of course poorer financially, but richer by life experiences, and somebody who has got a lot to share and hopefully something useful to share.
I'm sure you are a warrior. It's not about being sure. You are a warrior, actually. I want to say that I can feel the pain when life turned topsy turvy. But it's easier to say. But the kind of pain you and your family underwent is really difficult to. I mean, it's difficult for me to feel into that shoe and understand at that. Getting on that particular moment and understanding that the kind of trouble or a kind of thought process you were going through. But I have to applaud you, and I have to say that you really stand as an inspiration after the kind of journey, after that incident, the kind of journey which you have traveled till date is really amazing one. So, okay,
Thank you.
moving ahead, yeah, I would like to ask you a generic question that now that you are an author, so do you think that, people say that until and unless you feel those emotions, you cannot be a writer? I also have heard writers and authors speak on this topic, that they almost have had themselves escaped into a different kind of an environment, lonely kind of an environment rather, or I have also heard authors saying that they got themselves isolated and they went through some practical real life emotional experiments so that they could put the true colors into their stories. So what would be your say now that you are an author? What would be your say? This is generic again.
I think that is quite an individual thing, So it is difficult to generalize because everybody is an individual and everybody has different coping mechanisms or different ways to enhance their creativity. Perhaps because I was writing about myself, so I didn't have to escape anywhere. But now I'm in the process of writing two other books, somebody else's stories. So I have
Oh,
to try and get myself into those emotions as to how they must have felt at that period of time. In general, I am someone who have always tried to do two things at a time. So because I have always believed that our brain has got that much potential that we can definitely do more than one thing at a time. Any person can do one thing at a time. If you can do more than one thing, there are people that in our ancestral history who have been doing up to 10 things at a time. So we can't
correct,
do that
correct.
much. But
Yeah, multitasking.
so
It's all
yogis,
about channelizing your productivity, channelizing your strength.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. So I have always tried to do two things. So for me, rather than escaping to an empty space, I would rather have the telly on or listen to music or do something different along with the writing, which helps me focus more. So in my case, it has always been like that. So the diversification actually helped me focus more. So I think it is really important to be honest. That is really as an author to be honest and put your emotions into paper, because only if you really feel it and you are being honest about it, that's when the right words will come out, and that's what people will try and understand. And also, I have felt that again, this is in my case. I felt that if you're writing in first person, like I, me sort of thing,
Yeah.
then readers can put themselves in that I, me position rather than me saying in a third person about him or her. So, but that's a subjective thing. That's a subject. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I would like to ask you a jovial one. Suppose you get a chance to tell your younger self, that's your younger writing self, or advise your younger writing self about something. What would that one advice be from your end?
I would say you enjoy life more. Then definitely you should enjoy your present more, because I felt that all these years till this happened, I had been always saving and living for tomorrow rather than for today. So I would definitely suggest appreciate every single moment of your life. It is important to save for your rainy days when the sun is shining. That's very true. But to live for tomorrow and forsaking today is not right. So because you don't know what lies around the corner. So that's what I would tell my younger self. As regarding a writer, and God had given me creativity right from childhood. So I used to write poems, I used to do paintings. My paintings have been exhibited while I was back in India. But in the humdrum of daily life and family and career and everything got kind of lost. And
Yes.
in a way, this is a blessing in disguise that I have been able to uh, find those things again. So I would tell my younger writing self that don't give up. And that is something perhaps I might have told you in our conversations as well. So although
Yes.
you're working, you're earning your bread and butter and everything, but don't give up on the talent that God has given you.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
completely
try and do
remember
that.
you guiding me over a phone call that if you have some talent, do not compromise with that. Come up with more
Absolutely.
because, of course, in life there will be hurdles, but it's up to us that if we are choosing the positivity or if we're going on the negative side or darker side. I think here you and I so much coincide with each other, and that's the reason I think we share a very great bond together. And here
Thank
again,
you.
when you said about that adversities can be turned into positivity, again I would like to say I would not be able to quote it directly, but yeah, the meaning is what in a whole I can say. In Bhagavad Gita again, Krishna Bhagwan said that, I mean Lord Krishna said that it's about living in the present. We always keep on thinking about what will be the future, as you already said in the in the previous questions while answering that, as you already have said that we always keep on thinking about what's next, how do we do about the go about the future. But yeah, living in the present, because the present is life. From past we can learn, and those are the experiments and as well as experiences which make us humbler, and we get to, what do you say, train ourselves for the future. We already know that this is how it can happen, so we get a chance to mold. But living in the present I think is important, and being positive is more important. So that's why I say we resonate so much. And here I would
Absolutely. You
like to tell
see,
you, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, no, please.
You see, it is very important to, first of all, understand that we sometimes give too much importance to ourselves, too much importance to our lives. Yeah. So, but in the big scale of things, in the magnanimity of the nature, we are just small, very small aspect. Whether
Correct.
I am alive today or gone, whether you are alive today or gone, it actually doesn't
Doesn't.
make any difference, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
the world will carry on. So
Mm.
sometimes when we just realize that we are not that important, so that actually helps in letting go of our ego and stuff like that. So that helps us in learning more things as well. So it is really important also to understand that what is gone yesterday is just a memory.
Memory. Yeah. Of
What
course.
is coming tomorrow is just our imagination.
Imagination. Yes.
May or may not happen.
May or
The
may not.
only this moment in time, say for
Is
example,
life.
I'm talking with you now, this is the reality. And this is the reality that we have to live.
Correct. So that's where the saying goes, time is the only constant. Rest we all will come and go. So that's how it comes. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I keep on following you over social media and I could see that you have got some pretty good reviews. How is your thought? I mean, how is your feeling right now after getting those reviews?
Feels really good. It feels really heartwarming to know that I'm making a little bit of difference in one way or another, especially from people that I have never met or I've never known. It's also nice to know from people whom I have known, and they have read the book and they have said that they have found a new way. They
Newer
now know
version of
everything
you.
about me, or a different perspective about me. So it's really heartwarming, and especially from, I have now got reviews from people from Mozambique in Africa, from
Wow.
Australia, from Canada, from USA.
Mhm.
So it's really great. And there are a lot, not only the Amazon reviews, I'm getting so many people who are writing to me personal messages on Facebook, on Instagram, and all that. So yeah, it's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling.
Of course, it is. The way you said that one of the lady, she was about to give up and then she saw your post and she got revived is something, speaks a lot about that. I'm sure you would be a proud someone today that knowing that people are following you. I mean, that's a common human emotion, which will definitely reflect. Here, I would like to know, does your family support you in your writing career? Although I know the answer, I would want the audience to know more about it.
My family is probably not just my family and friends are probably the only reason why I'm still here. Because without their support, I wouldn't have survived what I had gone through. I think that means a lot for a lot of people who have gone through the same journey. Some may not be as fortunate enough as me to have that much of family support. In terms of the writing, yes, my whole family, both my daughters and my wife, we all are a reader family. So we read a lot, especially my elder daughter who is 15. So she reads beyond her age. She's got a big library. My wife reads a lot as well. Uh, so yeah, so there was definitely encouragement. Although my wife Millie, she is a bit anxious, saying that, oh, maybe we should just had a quiet life. Now with the book and now being on social media, uh, all the people are getting to know you, so you're coming into limelight. So that might again, may bring in bad luck, sort of thing. Because before this happened, I used to be quite, I mean, it's not nice to say myself, but I used to be pretty high flying. So and in sense, I think that may have caused some sort of maybe jealousy or brought in some negative vibes, that sort of thing. So when that happened, we had kind of decided that we'll live just a quiet life somewhere in the corner somewhere, and now here I'm again on social media all the time. So she's a bit worried, but overall she's been very supportive. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, we being Indians and especially from Assam, I think every household have that thought process. They tend to believe that if we showcase or if we come out in the public more, there might be, some kind of What do you say? So cool, Agijwa kind of a thing. Like, there may be some faulty eyes upon you. I think that's a belief again. But of course, I'm pretty sure, and you already have got many reviews till now, and many people have been praising you for the kind of journey you have made till date, and plus the kind of example you are setting for people even like us, not only for the specially abled. So I'm sure, this too will pass and everything will be like rosy and gory, the way every people would desire. I'm sure about that. Oh, this is a great, great conversation going on. And how I wish that we keep on conversing and I get to hear more from your end about the book. But again, keeping the fact in mind that time is a limit. And if we start something, we have to wrap this up. So before we wrap it up, last but not the least, I would like to ask you, would you like to convey something to the larger audience here?
Yes, I would take this opportunity to say a couple of things. So, first of all, I would say that with a positive outlook and with proper planning, you can turn every adversity into some kind of opportunity. So don't give up yet. To the younger generation, I would say that be prepared for the rainy days when the sun is shining. Try, and it's not that you should not enjoy at all. You should enjoy, and you should enjoy the most you can actually, but also be prepared that things may not always be as rosy as this. So you do some sort of saving, some sort of investments and all that. Always try and diversify your investments. I've written a lot about this diversification and all this entrepreneurship in the book, but that's one thing I would say is your choice. When the pain comes, it is your reaction and your choice how much you suffer, because pain is a real thing. Suffering depends on how we react. It is up to us when the storm comes, whether you want to be an eagle and fly high, or whether you want to be a dormouse and hide around the corner. Yeah. So, with a positive outlook, with appreciation and gratitude, and making sure that you count all those small miracles in life that happens on a daily basis, believing in your gut instinct. And if you really want something badly enough, and if you're able to desire that, if you're able to believe in yourself, and if you're able to persevere through the tougher times, you will always get the chance to come out successful.
I think, yeah, very beautifully this has been put on the tray, because life is a goofball of positives and negatives. We cannot neglect that. We have to accept the way it is. Again, the way you said, it is also about positive manifestation. One day we try, the second day we fall, we try, we get it done. That is how life works. There is a very famous Hindi dialogue. I might not be properly correct, but this is how I think it goes. इतनी शिद्दत से तुम्हें पाने की मैंने कोशिश की है कि हर जर्रे जर्रे ने हमें मिलाने की कोशिश की है. I think this is applicable even in terms of people, in terms of the different dreams we have. I think it's applicable in different domains, but here positivity is the base thing. Manifesting positively is the base thing, which is to be focused. It's not only something related to a person. It may be anything, maybe your dream, maybe you want to accomplish something in life, you want to do something for others. It's only your hard work. I think you are a great example for that. Dr. Bhaskar, it was really great conversing with you. I wish you all the best for your book release. I'm sure that people would love it and people would shower the blessings. And ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen, let me tell you that Dr. Bhaskar is not just a person who has worn multiple hats. He's also a person who is great at heart. He's really great human being. He has been trying to voice out for all those people who are specially able via his blog www.thesecondchanceinlife.com. I would ask you all to please go and read, because I personally believe that by reading, by reading someone's review or by reading someone's way of expression, reading is the only way through which you can come to know about that person. It reflects their personality. That is what is my belief, because I am going to read that. And I really hope that your book is going to get a lot of blessings and people will definitely love it. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.